Hey there, it's your pal Filthy. Welcome back to Bloomfield, Canada. We're going to be doing some renovations and some landscaping today, so if that's what you're looking for, stay tuned. Back once again on the farm. As you can see, it is still March. It is 12:19. We just finished up harvesting the big wheat field in the previous video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It was quite the task, but we got it done, and we made a decent amount of money. We made about $60,000. It would have been $84,000, but we had some expenses. We had to buy a trailer. We had to lease several pieces of technology and what have you. So overall, it was definitely still worthwhile, and the part that I continue to be amazed by, we'll show here. We'll check the price fluctuations. If you look, we're in March right now, and the price is kind of middle of the road. It's kind of middle of the pack. Imagine how much money we can make if I plan the harvest just right. That in December we're harvesting then, because that's at its like max price, and it's like I can't even fathom how much money that would be. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. So today we're going to be doing some renovation, some landscaping, some changes to the farm. There's several things that we want to do today. I'm going to try and make the greenhouse look a little bit better. I'm going to try and build a more realistic path to the greenhouse. I'm going to try and probably get rid of that shed we have over by the greenhouse because it's not usable. But first and foremost, I'm going to get rid of this little weed, whatever this is here, because every time I drive past it, it triggers my OCD that it's there. So we'll go into landscaping, painting, and find the correct texture, which I believe is this one here. We'll zoom right in, and boom, there it is. It is gone. So the first thing that we're going to have to do is move this trailer, because we're likely going to be having to deal with some of this grass and stuff, and it makes it easier to have things out of the way. So we'll just pull this down here. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with this plot of grass here. I kind of feel like it might do me some good as we expand our operation to put another one of these like back to back with it, and just have like this be the vehicle yard, and then leave the bulk haul for things in bulk, which, I mean, that's a little on the nose, but it is what it is. Okay, so we'll just turn around and get this left right about meow. There we go. And if you'll recall, in a previous episode, I said that I was gonna, I wanted to try and make this a bit more realistic looking, in that I want to expand this gravel to kind of encompass this grass here, because we're always going to be driving over it, and I think that makes sense. We're going to turn off the truck. There's no need for it to be idling right now. As well, I want to go through and try and get rid of these shrubs, because frankly they're not like they're there from a previous building, and I think it looks kind of weird that we have just empty space shrubs. So we're going to do that as well. So first and foremost, let's start with this section here. I'm going to stand on this side of the road, because I find sometimes the character it gets in the way. So we'll do this and go find the appropriate gravel and change it to a circular brush. There you go. So I think that kind of works like that, but I am going to expand it, and I'm going to switch to the square brush, because I want to fill in this area here. The way I see it, if I was going to be trying to, like, if I was thinking about this in a realistic light, I feel like before this greenhouse would have gone down, they would have, put gravel down, they would have put asphalt down, they would have done something, as opposed to literally just dropping it on the grass. So we're going to do that, and we're just going to quickly spray up here. I want to for sure be cognizant of the fact that, here, we'll demonstrate right here, that it makes the grass go away as you're spraying, which makes sense because you're literally replacing the texture. But all that to say, I want to try and be cognizant of that fact, and not We'll stop about there and just go in behind the greenhouse here, and being careful to not go too far, and then we will keep the same brush size going down the back here, and there you go. That's kind of that taken care of. But you're probably wondering, Phil, you said you wanted to get rid of the shrubs. How are you going to do that? So with that, I'm going to go into the plants and go find meadow grass, because you can do that, and it replaces the shrubs with grass, and that's really what I wanted to do. And obviously, as things change, as the farm changes, this will probably move around. Like I said in the very first episode, or it might have been the second episode, what I really want is to make this back area the spot for like greenhouses, and really turn this into like a little veggie garden or a fruit garden. Like I want the space back there to be used more, because as of right now it's literally just this building, so we don't really want to keep that way. But for right now, I think that works. We're just going to go ahead and try and get rid of some of these tire tracks by painting over them. Not that it makes a difference. Once you quit out of the game, it resets all the tire tracks and stuff, but I just wanted to try. Okay, so that's taken care of, and now we're gonna kind of move along down to this part of the farm, and we're gonna try and figure out what to do with this space here. So one shed that I have always found very useful is this one here, the open wooden garage. And the reason I say that I've always found this one useful is actually, perfect time for an anecdote for you. The camera tends to be, as the kids say, janky when it comes to trying to place things down. So keep that in mind as you're doing your thing. That the camera's not always going to cooperate with you when you're trying to place buildings. The reason I like this shed is because it's kind of perfect for things like fertilizer, like seeds and stuff like that. It's open air, so in my head, the idea of having like things like fertilizer and lime and stuff in open air sheds makes sense, that you wouldn't want to have the smells and the chemicals and stuff kind of build up in a space. But it's $44,000, which is kind of a lot. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna save that for last if we can, so we're not spending all of our money on and then not being able to do things like fix the grass here. So we're going to start by fixing the grass. We'll jump over here. This used to be where a cow pasture was, but as we've discussed on several occasions, I don't want to do cows, at least not right now, because they're very challenging to do, and we just simply don't have the ability to operate or maintain a proper cow operation. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that for now. Go back into landscaping, painting, or no, not even painting, plants. The same meadow grass. It's unfortunately for us, meadow grass is very expensive. It's like $50 per click, so that's certainly less than ideal. And there we go, and that should be good. And then we'll go in here and go find the grass painting tool. We'll change it to that. And the idea behind this is I just want some uniformity in the look, because you look where the silos used to be, there's a big gray patch because that's just the way the textures were done. So we'll go to plants, meadow, there it is, and like that we're good. Just a little bit more there, and like that we're taken care of. The grass is taken care of, and yeah, now I think what we're gonna do is get rid of these shrubs here. I'm a little bit bothered that it's gonna take all this money just to get rid of shrubs. Like, I would really like if there was an option to get a weed whack or a whippersnipper, whatever you call it, and get rid of plants that way, because it's it's kind of frustrating that I just had to spend like $200 just to get rid of plants. Like, that's sad to me. Oh, and here's the shed that we said we were going to get rid of, and I kind of feel like, based on how this recording is going, that probably just going to keep you with me the entire time we're working on stuff, so I don't know if that's a cost or a benefit to you, the viewer, but I certainly appreciate the company while I'm working on stuff like this. And turn the camera this way so we can get a better angle on the plants that are still outstanding. You're never going to get rid of like all of it, because a lot of the times, like, the meadow grass comes with little leaves and crap, so you're like, this is meadow that I planted, so it comes with random little plants and stuff that stick out of it, which is fine by me, because, it is what it is. The other thing I was kind of hoping to do, and we don't need the truck for this, so we'll just run back to the farm. I was thinking I was going to turn this into asphalt and just have like a proper driveway to about here, and then gravel the rest of the way. The idea being that as we're going along, as the farm is expanding, as we're making a bit more money, as the franchise, the series is continuing, it makes sense to me that Filthy Farms would be investing in things like a proper driveway and stuff like that. And eventually we'll probably turn the whole driveway into asphalt. But I want to try and keep some of the natural look. See, this is the problem I have. Like, I clicked in a completely different spot, and it painted over it. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I clicked roughly about here, and it decided it was going to paint into there. So that's probably the most frustrating thing for me about the landscaping, is that it isn't, like, it's not refined. It really bothers me how often you're put in a position that, you click in one spot and it just adds gravel to a completely different, or it adds that texture to a completely different spot. And it's a bit frustrating, but it is what it is, and we'll just go through. Oh, no, that's the wrong paint again. And this, what I'm doing now is just kind of fixing up some stuff to make it look a bit more realistic. And eventually I'd like to have things like, it'd be kind of nice to have some like light posts and shrubs and stuff kind of lining the driveway and what have you. Actually, on that note, we're before we go any further, I'm actually going to go into the not the landscaping menu, the store within the landscaping menu, and go over into decorations, lights. I think it'd be kind of nice to get some kind of lamp. What do you mean the land isn't mine? That doesn't make a lick of sense. Okay, so we're gonna put a little lamp there, and then where else can we put? I don't want to go too hard into this because it gives us something to work on later in the franchise, in the series as well. But I do want to add a couple of these little buggers just to like make it a little bit nicer, just to lighten up the farm a little bit and make it a bit more well lit, to be completely honest. Okay, so there's that. Now let's go check in the yard. Let's go check with the deer. Bambi's mom, whatever your name is, get the heck out of here. What we can do is scare the deer out of our yard. Get the hell out of here. Jeez Louise. In fact, chainsaw! Hey dear, do you want to see my new chainsaw and hockey mask? Oh right, we still need to buy that shed, and I think that we will conclude by buying the shed, and then I'm gonna put like the plow away, and then what? I must have hit back by accident. We're going to put the plow away. I can put the fertilizer in this shed that we're about to put down, and we'll just kind of tidy up the yard and then call it a day. It'll be a quick video, but that's really all I wanted to accomplish with these renovations, was just make things a bit more nice, I guess is the most accurate word. We're going to keep going with the farm in a later episode, but let's just get this lined up a little bit. Kind of there, I want to say. So we're just going to go back into this gravel menu and then make a couple changes here and get rid of this grass out front and just kind of do that. And shrink the brush size and get rid of this grass around back. I didn't have to do this, but again, I'm always thinking about what you would do in real life, and you wouldn't just drop a shed on grass. You would do something to kind of line it up. And just in general, I think it kind of adds to the realism. It adds to the look if the textures aren't just starting and stopping like that. Though with that said, I think I'm going to correct this curve a little. No, you know, we'll leave that as is. So we'll leave that, and then what we're gonna do is, now that we've done that, we've reached the point that it's just time to tidy up. So we'll start with these fertilizer IBCs, I believe they're called, and again, the only reason I'm able to lift it bare hand is because I've got a mod installed, lift pallets and heavy bags. And if you didn't see the episode when I explained why, essentially it just comes down to, I don't like the idea that I would, apparently I'm super strong that I was able to throw that. I don't like the idea that I'm stuck having to get like a forklift to do menial tasks like that. Like it's kind of frustrating, it's kind of annoying. And we'll get this parked on our new asphalt driveway, and then we'll get the plow put away, and then we'll call it a day from there. If you've reached this point of the video, thank you for watching, and if you've reached this point of the video, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to leave a comment. What's a landscaping project that you've been involved in that you thought was kind of fun? For myself, many years ago, a friend of mine and their parents were renovating their backyard and replacing their retaining wall and what have you, and it was a complete pain in the butt, but it also ended up being very fun. That we spent this whole weekend just kind of drinking, talking crap, and just having a fun time doing a very taxing physically job, and like it ended up being a very memorable weekend. There was a lot of good stuff that happened. There was a lot of laughs shared. There was a lot of good times. So again, if you've reached this point in the video, get into the comment field and let me know about a landscaping project that you've been involved in that you really liked. And beyond that, thank you again for listening. Listening and watching. I often say thank you for listening because I work in radio, so I typically associate thanking people for being involved in my content and to listening as opposed to watching. But regardless, thank you for being involved. Thank you for witnessing this content. Thank you for taking it in. I appreciate the time, and we'll get this plow put away and then say goodbye, my friends. It's a short one this week, but or this episode, but I think it kind of makes up for it because frankly the harvesting episode is probably pretty long, and it was a bit of a task. It was I think we did enough work that we can start fresh in the new month with new tasks, where the rest of this month we're just going to take it easy. This is why I try not to back things into sheds, because oftentimes I embarrass myself. But you know what? I wanted to try. I think that it's important to try, especially at things that challenge you, so you're not just giving up. But it's so tricky. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking with fire. And if we just detach it like that, there you go. It's almost like I planned it. But what we are going to do now is just attach again, hopefully without breaking the darn thing. We're just going to attach again. Fill. It's not that hard, big guy. Jeez Louise. So this is actually a perfect example of kind of the reasons that this game frustrates me at times, is just when things like this don't quite work out, it ends up being frustrating, and then the more frustrated I am, the harder it gets to do these things. So we'll just back it up a little bit more. And the reason I want to back it up more is because I want the arm of it to be out of the road, because I could see me trying to drive by and taking that out and just causing a whole hullabaloo. Dear, I swear to whatever god you worship, get out of here. Why am I making chainsaw noises when there's literally a chainsaw in my hand that makes noises? Well, I never said I was smart, so there's that. And the last thing we are going to do, I know I said that putting stuff away was going to be the last thing, but I'm going to... I'm not allowed to cut this tree. Never mind. Okay, we are. That is the last thing we're going to do. I was going to cut down this tree because if you see, like, every time we drive here, at least that branch needs to be cut, but I guess we don't own that tree. Oh, well. You live and learn. And we'll just get the tractor put away again, keeping in mind that that turn is tighter than my tractor can steer. And like that, she is put away, we'll head back to the porch to say goodbye, as we always do. So, you know, it was a shorter episode, but I think it was a productive one. Dear, I swear, one of these days they're gonna give me a rifle mod and you're gonna get got. Well, that was morbid. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. It's been a quick one, it's been a good one, but yeah, until next time.